Hey guys, it's Tony here again. Just got a couple of messages through in my comments from the last couple of videos, and one of them from Master of Flowers was interested in the Words of Power section, which is maybe one of the main reasons to buy the new Magic book, Ultimate Magic from Paizo Publishing for the Pathfinder RPG. He's basically asking if it was worth buying the book. I think I commented that it's not an essential book to get in it by any means, but it's got some interesting stuff, and if you've got a few Magic users in the group, maybe they could club together and buy it. Yeah, right. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting to hear about the Words of Power section. I've had a quick read through. It's not an exhaustive review by any means, but thought I'd get a little bit of info out for you, mate. So I had a quick little read. It's like a primal magic system. They're calling it the old way of casting magic, if you like, and it's available to all spell classes, and gives you a rundown of the benefits and restrictions for each class if they choose to go down the path of Words of Power instead of regular spellcasters from the core rulebook. They have to choose what sort of spellcasting they want to do, whether it's regular or Words of Power, as soon as they take the level in the spellcasting class. So they should feel restricted to go down that path from the start of that class level. There is a feat listed in here that if you've got a spellcasting class already, you can take the feat. It requires one level of spellcasting class as a prerequisite, and that allows you to, as they put it, dabble in Words of Power. What it breaks down into basically is you still essentially get the same spell slots available at your class level, but within those slots you're able to put I think it's up to 3 words of power, and basically you have target words, you have the effect words, and then you have meta words, META, meta words. So the target could be, for example, I'll give you a couple. They list quite a few for each one. Not massive amounts, not that you couldn't cope with it, but there's certainly quite a few. But so target words, for example, would be personal, or burst, or line, for example. Give 3 examples there. Obviously, so personal would be targeting yourself. Burst would be it's a close range, 25 foot plus 5 foot per 2 levels. Burst, shoot out a sort of maybe a fireball sort of effect, if you like. And line would be everything in a straight line. It says a 20-foot line. The big chunk of words that you can learn are effect words, and they're broken down into type of effect, such as acid, for nature, animal, change, cold. There's all sorts like concealment stuff, and it's basically like your regular spell list, but they're effect words. So you'd add like line, and sorry, they are restricted in the spell description. I won't show you, you know, a bit wary about copyright and stuff like that. I thought about it in my last few videos, and I'd rather talk about these things unless I, you know, a moment of madness and start recording books again. But for example, resist arcana. Its restriction is selected. So selected means select a target, for example, and so you have your target word selected, your effect word resist arcana, and that will give you the target of a word spell with this effect word gains a spell resistance equal to 12 plus the caster's level. Obviously that's quite a high level spell. I think it's a level 5 or 6 spell, but you can hopefully see the effect of the, you know, what it's like. It's basically, it's like a spell, but you just use a word instead of the usual sort of, you know, casting mechanism. Let me just I'm going to go right to the end of these, because it is just like the spell lists in the core rulebook, where you just got endless lists of spells, but they're words. So then you have, so the third component you can add, or the third word you can add to the words of power in your spell slot is meta words, and these can be things like boost or quiet, stuff like that, irresistible. And again, if I just quickly flick to one of the spells, try and find one here quickly. So Thunder Strike, they don't have a boost one. Some of them have got boost, so here we go, sense alignment detection. So it's boost, the caster can select 2 alignments to detect. Boosting this effect word increases its level by 1. So you can add the meta word boost to the end of your other 2 words and get that extra effect out of it. You know, enhance, supercharge the spell, if you like. Of course there's restrictions on how often you can add a meta word to your words of power spell slot, and you know, that's all talked about in the rules, so they, you know, it's not overpowered at all. And what was the other thing? I think there's a feat as well which lets you cast it that many more times per day with a meta effect as well. So you can take a feat slot and essentially get a lot more power out of your words of power, for want of a better word. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, really. I don't know if that'll interest you or your players. Say it's quite a big chunk of the book, and it is a new spell system. They do warn that if your players are prone to analysis paralysis, that it can slow the game down. But otherwise, if they're not that way, you know, inclined, you know, they haven't got you know, that problem as some players do, you know, you won't get an issue with it. They'll just choose their words of power, add them to their spell slots, you know, like you would any day of adventuring. You'd fill up your spell slots in, you know, overnight, or pray for them or whatever. It's exactly the same mechanic in that respect. It's just the spells are different. Some may be really powerful, I don't know. There's a heck of a lot of them, and at the after all the spell list, for, again, want of a better word to describe it, you get the class word lists, because it does say that the majority of the classes will know all of the words for their level. It's just up to them to arrange them the way they want in their spell slots. I hope that makes sense, because it kind of does to me now. But I'm quite interested actually. I'd like to use it for myself, just to surprise the players. Maybe I don't know. I might throw it in with an NPC. But for example, first level alchemist words. It's just the first one in the list. So we've got dash, time, decipher, language, fade, concealing, force, shield, armour, fortify, body, glide, flight, lesser cure, which is healing. So it gives you their schools and the actual word. So you'd go target, bob, dash, and then maybe meta to meta word would be lengthen. So you'd make him dash for a longer amount of time, your mate Bob. It's very simple, and it's just a whole lot more to go through with your players. And if they do want to use it, you kind of got to know what the words do. You don't want, because I guess what they're trying to say, where it might make for a lengthy game session, is where you're constantly referencing the spells. Whereas if you've played the normal system for a little while, I guess you're going to be used to the spells. To be honest, I'm yet to play the Pathfinder, even the core rules, and I'm going to try and stick to those in the Advanced Player's Guide. And for now, but yeah, like I say, I'm quite interested in using this, and it might surprise the players. You suddenly get an evil cleric come at them with some strange string of words, and suddenly bad things start happening to them. So I'm interested to give it a go actually, and watch this space maybe for a later episode in my videos. So anyway, hope that was useful for you. I know Wood and Master of Flowers were commenting on my recent videos, so thank you very much, guys. Keep the comments coming, because they give me something to talk about. Alright, so I'll sign off for now, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.